Hello, everybody. It is me, Pacific. And, I got to thinking when I was talking about Obama and violence yesterday, I had a couple of other thoughts, actually, a few random thoughts. And I wasn't sure what to title this video, still not sure, but basically, Hollywood, media, entertainers, and trolls and Democrats are ruining America. Yes, you heard me. I'm finally being bold in saying something. When I talk about American culture, it used to be great. But as I get older, I'm starting to notice that American culture is increasingly sliding into the toilet bowl. I was thinking about my interest in music. I love music. I like club music, dance music, some rock music. But I've noticed something about a lot of the female vocalists out there globally. You watch their videos and it's the camera pans to them, focuses on them. It's always all about them, their sexy bodies, their cleavage, and Hollywood just expounds all over that. And I want to say something about Hollywood. I want to say something about this. What I've noticed in the last so many years of an absolute increase. There was a study done out of Salt Lake City and I believe Boise, Idaho, saying that 50% of women in the United States have a physical attraction or a secret physical attraction sensually towards another female. I started going, wow. And I've noticed something. Women compete with women in how they look. They don't try to vie for the attention of their boyfriend or the husband, it's other women. And I started doing some thinking, why do you suppose that is? Well, a couple reasons. American society's become narcissistic and materialistic and fiercely independent. When you become fiercely independent and you feel that all you need is your iPad, SUV, $5 coffee, and your $350,000 house and all your little gadgets, you suddenly don't feel the need for people. However, we still have a sex drive, and you can't get intimacy from a cell phone. You can't get intimacy from a TV set. So now we have people getting on sites like Craigslist and other sites, couples seeking couples, people seeking all kinds of people in the bedroom, same sex, opposite sex, everything, and that's still not doing it. I wonder why. People were made for intimacy, and like I said in one of my other videos, if they don't get it, they're going to look for it in the wrong ways. But increasingly, women in America, it seems that a lot of them are becoming very much into the fantasy or the idea of another woman. And I'm starting to realize, what has Hollywood been doing for years? They put forth this cleavage showing woman, both in the commercials, the sporting events, the cheerleaders, the beer commercials, the movies. You never see average people. And if you do, they're made fun of often. The guy with thick glasses is always portrayed as a nerd. Yep, that's me. Funny thing is, I'm not a nerd. I drive a pickup truck. I can dance with the best of them. I've been around the world, and I'm hardly a nerd. I don't sit with my head in books and wear pen protectors, and I'm not a computer geek, though I do spend a lot of time on the computer, but it's more of an entertaining thing for me to chat with people, to email people, to research stuff. But I'm not a geek, but society puts labels on us anyway. What has Hollywood contributed to American culture? It has caused Americans to become discontent with the things that they do have. If you look at any movie and you watch any sitcom, start paying attention to the house, the furniture, the clothing, and the vehicles that they're driving. Most of them are quite nice. A huge percentage of Americans today can't afford all that stuff. So they've created this carrot on the end of a stick for those always trying to get there. And because of the job market today and the way most jobs are in America that beat you down, break your spirit, make you feel bad, the only thing a lot of people can hope for is making it to Walmart at the end of the week, buying a six pack of beer, a cheap t shirt, and a video to watch with their significant other. Woohoo. Pretty sad. I just recently started my own business. I'm finding out it's very hard to make big profits. Thankfully, my overhead is my own truck and my body, which will not last forever. The point that I'm trying to make is it's hard for the small business guy. And to sit there and hear Obama say that nobody got where they were without the help of the federal government, give me a proverbial break. Granted, the roads were built, but like one of the ads said, our taxes paid for those roads. So that's not the government. That's hardworking Americans. But let's go back to Hollywood and let's talk about what they've contributed. Let's talk about women. Let's ladies first, after all. Women feel the need in American society to show their cleavage. Don't you dare tell them they shouldn't do it. Then those same women turn around and call men pigs. Or the other kind of women out there say, well, it's okay. You can look at the men you don't touch. No wonder sex is on everybody's mind almost all of the time, except for a few women that pretend that it never enters their mind and they're dressed provocatively and calling all the men pigs. Love the double standard there. Teenage girls today dress like whores. Yes, I said it. Whores, sluts. Like they're advertising their hardware. Girls with push up bras with 2-inch boobs, and they got those pushed up so far, you think they're 4 inches. It is disgusting that we've done this. Does anybody remember the John Benet Ramsey case? Making a little princess out of a 5-year-old girl. Shame on those parents. Our society's obsession with the perfect 10 woman has fallen short. After living in Hong Kong and living around the globe, I have seen Asians and Indonesian and India women that are far more beautiful than most of the white women that Hollywood puts out there. That they have to airbrush, bondo, and paint, and those same women don't like the shots in the Inquirer showing their cottage cheese down the back of their legs, their sagging breasts, and all the Botox and all the bondo they put all over their face. Most of the people in Hollywood are not natural beauties. Fact. But when I was in Asia, I sure saw a lot of natural beauties. No makeup, no breast implants, nothing. Stunning, beautiful, shiny black hair, no face tucks, anything. Our culture is sending a lie. The porn industry is sending a lie. And the sad thing is people have bought into it hook, line, and sinker. I was reading on Yahoo News this morning that Hollywood stars are some of the worst drivers on the roads and getting huge tickets for bad driving. Britney Spears and others. Gee, I wonder why. Hollywood has become the standard in American culture more than Christianity, more than Islam, more than Buddhism, more than Mormonism, more than Catholicism, and I don't even agree with all those religions, but my point is Hollywood has become the standard in American culture, even over Mormons, even over Christians, Catholics, Buddhists, Islamics. In this culture, it's really hard to find a devout anybody in any faith. Talk to most born again Christians on Sunday, and they'll tell you what they saw with the Super Bowl and the movie that they watched. Wait a minute, stop, put on the brakes. A lot of what Christians are watching today is shameful. The Bible says it doesn't condone the kind of violence in the New Testament. It says be gentle. It talks about sexual immorality. Hey, I'm no saint there. I've done my share of sexual immoral behavior in the years, but I know one thing, it's wrong. Hollywood continues to pump it and promote it, and they're never held accountable, except by a few of us that say, hey, what are you doing? Hollywood has become the standard, but they're not accountable to anybody, and they continue to pump out the stuff. And like I said about Obama yesterday, never once has he or the Democratic Party decried the violence that Hollywood continues to put out, the filth, profanity, the pornography, and the devaluing of the rest of us hardworking people by putting forth these awesome top 10 looking women out there, and then we got to hear about it in our national news. Oh, did you hear about Lindsay Lohan? Oh, so and so got a ticket and so stubbed their toe. Guess what, ladies and men in Hollywood? I don't care. The stars don't care about us as Americans. They care about themselves. They compromise their values with their significant other every time they get on the screen. It is disgusting. I used to be proud of Hollywood. We were trendsetters. We started the film industry. We started a lot of things over here, and we've turned it around and used it for bad. And yet, Americans still, like the Pied Piper, they just said, shut up, Pacific. I don't want to hear it. I want my MTV, and I want my movies, and the billions of dollars generated at the box offices every year is beyond disgusting, while billions around the globe live in poverty, while we stuff our faces with $5 coffee, inappropriate movies, and overpriced gas guzzling SUVs. Yes, we have a choice. I realize that. Am I asking for socialism? Am I asking for government to come in and tell everybody, nope, can't do this, can't do that? Nope. But it'd be interesting to see if Americans would wise up, police themselves, and become more intellectual and start going, why are we watching this? Why are we paying for this? Let's talk about rock stars. Let's talk about female vocalists and most female music. I've started to catch myself, and when I see a video where it's the woman and it's always me, look at me doing this, look at me doing that, I'm starting to delete them. I'm tired of it. Narcissism, and it works. And most men go, "Wow, she's really cute. She's just so good looking." Guys, she wouldn't go out with you. Do you know what the word high maintenance is? That woman is very high maintenance. Trust me. And I've dealt with this in other videos. And I've had some people write me comments saying, well, I'm not that way. And then you can't leave a post on their site because they've shut off their comment box and they don't put a picture of themselves. I don't know who I'm dealing with. Let's talk about trolls on the internet. This is my opinion, not necessarily fact. I think most trolls lean towards the Democrat, lean towards pot smoking, lean towards partying, lean towards anything goes, sexual behavior, all kinds of mayhem. And it dawned on me that most of the people leaving comments to me are not conservative, God fearing people that have values. They're dregs. Trolls often align with the liberal viewpoint. It's really hard for me to sit here and watch well off people with their Obama Biden stickers living the good life, endorsing the Democrats, and vilifying the Republicans, conservatives, Christians who don't believe in evolution, and yet they fail to realize what their party stands for. Hollywood endorses the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party loves Hollywood. They're each other's darlings and bedfellows. Like I said yesterday, that's why Obama isn't going to say boo. Let's talk about pro sports in America. Disgusting that we pay basketball, football, baseball, golf, women's tennis the money we pay them. There are two women that have brought tennis to a low level than ever before. I'm not saying they're not outstanding tennis players. I'm not even going to mention their names. They were the first women, in my opinion, to bring a total lack of class to the sport of tennis. I am sick and tired of hearing about the who's who. I'm tired of going to a church on Sunday. Wow, did you see that Broncos game? No, I didn't. Well, what's the matter with you? No, what's the matter with you? Football is not my God, neither are pro sports. And people are vilified in this country for not getting into their latest team. Teams come and go, people come and go, and we pay them too much to make money playing games. It's disgusting. America is going to be held accountable, and people will take me to task on this. They will be held accountable for wasting so much money on themselves. Because, contrary to the evolutionists, there is a God who does exist, and he will hold us accountable for how we handle our money. He's also going to hold a lot of ministers accountable for living the good life, i.e., Joyce Myers took in $92 million in 2005 and lives in a 25,000 square foot home complete with a private golf course. Everybody knows about the Bakers with their air-conditioned jog house. Let's talk about Benny Hinn, living in mansions, spending $10,000 a night in hotels in Europe, and justifies it as ministry expense. Joel Osteen's living the good life now, the best life now, while he's fleecing people left and right. It's funny, we were number one in intellect. I don't see that anymore. A lot of people that claim to be Christians have checked their brains in at the door and say, touch not God's anointed. Hey, that ain't God's anointed, and you're misquoting the verse out of the Old Testament. Start doing your Bible study, folks. You're biblically illiterate, and you have no proper view of exegesis. I also find it interesting that there are Christians today denying, this all ties together, they're denying that, that God has a plan for Israel. And I'm seeing a rise in anti-Semitism, which is nothing short of disgusting. It is unacceptable among the Christian community. The Bible has a lot to say about what God's going to come back and deal with the nation of Israel. And yes, by the way, I take the stand that that land does belong to the Jews. It's not the business of the UN or Obama or anybody else to tell the Jews what to do with their real estate. I would challenge Obama to let any country tell us to give up half of the Southwest, because technically we could argue that it belongs to Mexico, right? Well, there's a lot of Mexicans that believe that that's their real estate that we took wrongfully. Folks, stay out of other people's land business. You just can't do it. And as far as Israel goes, they got this much land compared to their enemies, which is this much. I'm not going to get into biblical dissertations. What does this all have to do with anything? It has to do with the fact there's so much false stuff out there, so much error. And the biggest offender today isn't just false religion, but it's our media today, which is driven by materialism, driven by outward stuff. It promotes a white woman's image of perfect 10 looks, and it's all a sham and a lie. I have no interest in the stars of Hollywood. They don't have an interest in my pains. They don't have an interest in how hard it is for me to make a living. And the thing that bothers me the most is we got to hear about somebody stubbing their toe or some unfortunate mishap happening to a star all over national news. While millions of Americans that are hardworking trying to support their family, we don't hear on the news that some good man who's been faithful to his wife, raised his children, got cancer, lost his job, and they have no hospitalization and no money to cover it. Where's Hollywood? They don't care. Where's Barack Obama? He doesn't care. Let's push a Obamacare bill and say we're going to fine everybody that can't afford health insurance for not having health insurance. Good idea, Barack. You still haven't gotten back to me on my other video, and you won't. You're not going to stoop to my level because you're riding up there high on your little political surfboard making good money. And the thing I see increasingly about a lot of people in America, I've got mine, screw you, too bad. And I've noticed something. The more people that I work for that have money seem to be the stingiest and want to pay the least. And the people that have the least amount of money seem to be the most generous and will still bring you in for a home cooked meal, give you a place to stay, and give you the shirt off their back. Why is that? This ain't about rich Republicans and rich Democrats. This is just about people who think that money's their God. The more they get, the tighter they become and the worse they become. And let's talk about the drivers. It doesn't matter if they're college educated, it doesn't matter if they wear a suit and tie, it doesn't matter if they got out of law school, they still drive like idiots. The law doesn't mean anything to them. Most Americans, the only control they have is in their car, and they let you know that. You're not going to tell me what to do. But when the police show up, guess what? Then they all get honest. So they still have a conscience. This is Pacific's Views. I'm just throwing some random stuff out there. So have fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Bye bye.